Good afternoon, traders. It is Wednesday, October 29th, 2014, and the U.S. stock market is closed. God, we had one rocky day today. This was wild, and it was rough. Yesterday, we seemed to have a pretty good day. We closed with about a positive $13,000 in open trade equity, but we had 27 positions on, and anytime you have 27 positions on, it's a cliffhanger, because if things don't go right, you're in trouble. If things do go right, you can make a ton of money. And what I said yesterday on the video was I was concerned because the Dow had rallied to the point where it was once again in the death zone. And you know how much trouble we had with the death zone earlier this month. It seems like everything we got into got worse by the time we got out of it. So we have 27 positions, and the market closes in the death zone. And our trouble with that started within minutes of the close, because some news came out on InvenSense right after the close, and InvenSense fell 20% within minutes of the close of yesterday's market. That put us in real trouble in one of those 27 markets. So I was nervous, to say the least. Well, this morning, right after the open, I felt a lot more relaxed, because even though InvenSense was down $10,000, our total open trade equity after about 10 minutes of trading this morning was positive $9,000. And that included the loss in InvenSense. So we really hadn't given up too much of that $13,000 profit that we had on the close yesterday. And I was hopeful that maybe we were going to be able to get out of this today, even in spite of what happened with InvenSense. Well, the problem is we closed in the death zone yesterday, and everything started doing exactly what happens when we're in the death zone. All these good positions became less good. And bottom line is, when we finally got out, we closed out negative $10,000 in closed out trade. So we went from being positive $9,000 to negative $10,000. So we saw a almost $20,000 swing there during the day, caused by us hanging on when this overall market is declining. We are carrying positive $5,000 into tomorrow. So if you look at this and say, well, we lost $10,000 in the closeout trades, we're carrying positive $5,000 going into tomorrow, that's not a disaster, folks. It's a bad day, but it's not a disaster. That's not going to take us out of the game. But it's still very disappointing after what happened yesterday on the close. And anyway, we'll just have to see how it goes. The Dow ended up closing down 31. It was up very strong at the beginning of the day, and then just declined again. The Dow's in the wrong place. We're in this situation where we're going to have trouble making money here unless this thing goes down. Anyway, let's take a look at the chart. We're looking at the Dow here, and you can see here what happened. We had this big charge up yesterday, right into the middle of the death zone, and then today it couldn't hold up here, which is pretty much what I expect, and then it pulls back and ends up closing, interesting enough, 3 points below the 17,000 level. And so I'm just cringing at you know, what we've seen here, of course, we made a lot of money coming up here. Now we're stuck up here again, and I really don't see this thing as penetrating this. I think it's going to cause us nothing but trouble up here. I want to see it come down, and I wouldn't mind at all if it came down tomorrow, but you know, it's not going to do what Bob Moran wants it to do. That's for sure. But that is my thoughts on this. I'll show you a couple of trades. Listen, I'm going to show you the nightmare trade because any of you who are watching this because you want to be traders understand that this is a part of being a trader, and this is a disaster. This is InvenSense, and we got into that yesterday on a strong move, and it kept going, and we were holding, I think, close to $3,000 on InvenSense yesterday on the close. No sign at all that there was going to be a problem with this trade. And then we got that report right after the stock closed, and down she goes 20%. And this ends up costing us 10 grand when we got out of there. There's just, you know, no help for that at all. And normally any day that I lost $10,000 in a single trade, the first 15 minutes could really turn into a disaster, particularly when I'm holding 27 positions. So I'm not really terribly displeased with today in the sense that it could have been a disaster, and that it really wasn't. We managed to have a lot of good trades that offset some of this, and this is why a strong and large diversified portfolio is important. You can survive this kind of thing if you have that. If you put all your money in the InvenSense, you would have really been in trouble today. As it is, you know, we will live to fight tomorrow. I will show you just one of the good trades that offset InvenSense, and that was TQNT. That's TriQuint Semiconductors. We had bought this yesterday. It had closed pretty much where we bought it, but big explosive move this morning, and it just took off and ended up closing up near its high. And we are holding close to $6,000 in open trade equity in TriQuint Semiconductors. So we got $6,000 gain there, offsetting a $10,000 loss in InvenSense, and that doesn't completely offset it, but it sure takes the sting out of it. And that's why we're not wiped out today at all. We have enough money to keep trading, and we'll make it back. Anyway, that's the way it went today. This is Trader Bob signing off. I'll see you tomorrow on Thursday.